Okay, good morning, all. People are still joining, so I was waiting till a good set of people join this particular class. Anyway, in another 2 minutes, I will be starting the class. All right. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. I said good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Very
morning,
good
sir.
Good
morning.
morning,
Very
sir.
good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah. So, how are you all, people? How are your classes going on?
Good, sir.
Okay. Start preparing for your examinations also, because there will be no respite immediately after the lockdown. Whenever, I don't know when, but whenever the lockdown is taken out, you will be having a lot to do. Okay, so most of the time you will be spending in the college would be in the laboratories and writing exams. Okay, so you will not have much of a time to prepare for anything. So systematically start preparing for now itself, so that you will be in a very safe zone. All right. All right, so I'll just take 5 minutes of the time to brief out or put a summary on what we did in the few classes before I jump into the next topic, important topic, both for the examination as well as for the internals. So, as far as my remembrance goes, we had discussed improvement in quality of whatever is the organization's product, it could be, which was said by three important management gurus. Yeah, can somebody prompt me the three management gurus I'm trying to speak about here? Each one of you can give me one names. Okay, the first one I am trying to talk about is Deming, right? Deming was one of the most important known management gurus who gave a lot of inputs on how quality is perceived, what quality means to an organizations, and he came up with 14 different points using which an organization could improve its quality of its product as well as its process. So all aim towards total quality management, right? So in that context, we learned about Deming's 14 different points and how management should be involved, what should be the way in which organizations should increase or decrease their productions or device. How do they evaluate? What should be the emphasis on different kinds of goals that they set up? What should be the top management's role? What should be the kind of purpose that which they are doing, and the philosophy they follow, and 14 such points were actually discussed, right? And then the next management guru that we spoke about was whom? Juran, right? And the moment we talk about Juran, the word called as a trilogy should come to your mind. So Juran spoke about the quality trilogy, right? So based on his trilogy, there was three important aspects of quality that he spoke about. One was quality planning, second one was quality improvement, the third one was quality what? Control, right? So the idea is that today we will talk about the very important aspects of what happens when organizations attempt something, right? Okay, so that was about Juran trying to give us a way into how quality could be improved within this aspect. So the trilogy was important with respect to Juran, right? And he also gave some 10 important points on how an organization's 10 important steps you for quality improvement processes that could be important. Okay, he basically spoke about how to build awareness, and then how an opportunity can be assessed, or an opportunity to improve can be used. He also spoke about what kind of goals should be set up before the organizations attempt to take up any kind of such initiatives. And he also very much stressed about the kind of training that you should be given in the organization to the employees to ensure that these processes actually yields any kind of good results that they are meant to. Okay, and he also spoke about the report cards and how recognition is very important for employees of an organizations to keep up the tempo of whatever work they are doing, right? So all those things were 10 different points were steps were given by Juran. And in the last class, we discussed about the third management guru, Philip B. Crosby. Okay, and we spoke about how he stresses more on zero defects in any of the processes or products of an organization, right? So that was what Crosby gave. He also gave some statements like do it right the first time itself, right? So whenever you're doing your planning should be such that the kind of defects that is going to come out from the from the process has to be zero. That is the intention with which the process must be planned. But of course, yeah, through a period of time your improvement will happen, and then you will try to attain the call it zero defects thing, right? And among all these things, we also learned that the Deming cycle, okay, Deming cycle of improving the quality of the product was sorry, some vehicle movement that is happening. All right, yeah. Yeah, so we also spoke about the Pdsa cycle, right? The Pdsa cycle. You plan on, yeah, you plan, you do, and then you, and I also said instead of yes, it could also be C, right? Pdca cycle, right? So you plan and you do, and then you take corrective actions, which is control mechanisms, and then you do take some actions on certain aspects of deviations that has happened. We also saw a graph. I remember sharing a graph with you people, right? Yeah, I think you can also see on the graph. So this was the cycle that we discussed. So this is the Pdca cycle. Okay, plan, do, check, and act. Pdca, right? And this is what we spoke about. And then there were 14 different steps that even Crosby spoke about, which should be the organization's or to say methodology towards achieving zero defects, where he told about the management's commitment. And I have already shared with you in the yesterday class about what are those 14 different points, right? Management commitment, quality improvement, and then measurements and cost of quality. That was an important point we discussed, right? So if at all we are trying to improve a product, there will be a lot of what to say scraps and what to say leftovers that of the product that will be there. That's a cost that you are incurring. So that also should be as minimal as possible, right? So if you're achieving quality at a great cost, then that does not actually mean anything to organization. For example, if you're starting a company, let us say, it could be any company, or let us say you're manufacturing an agarbatti, okay? Agarbatti, and you have certain goals that you have set for your agarbatti. You have some expectations from your agarbatti. It should give out proper fragrance, it should last long, and all such what to say ideas you have, and then you set your goals and you set your processes to do that thing, and let us say you achieve it. That means to say you have decided to come up with agarbatti, let us say 1.5 feet long. Usually agarbattis are all 1 feet long. So you decide and come up with 1.5 feet agarbatti, saying that it will last long, it will last the whole night or something like that. You set your objectives. Now in doing so, you design processes to come up with the product. Okay, now you have to import a machine or even fabricate a machine or something like that. Then you do invest in R&D, then you come up with the product, and then you say. So finally, let us say if your product you're selling it for 100 rupees one packet, okay, and if a cost incurred on that means including the cost of what price of what to say quality, everything, when included, when you see, it has to, ultimate goal of any organization is to make profit. I hope that you still keep in mind, right? Quality is a way through of life. For us humans, we have to live. That's the ultimate goal. How we live is the quality, right? I can live like a beggar, I can live like a middle, a mediocre person, I can live like a king, right? So the ultimate idea is to live. But when you live, you set your priorities and set your goals that I have to live like a king, right? So that meant if the agarbatti is selling for 100 rupees, yes, people are buying it, heavily buying it, because it's a good product. It has been meeting the requirements of the customer. You have loyal customers, everything is there. But if you are selling it for 100 and if your cost itself is 95 rupees, 5 rupees of product, and then that does not make any sense, because you have so many people in organizations to feed. You have so many intents from the organization's money. Probably you want to do you start some other company, philanthropy, so many things. But the outcome, the profit that you get from the product might not even lead to any kind of other objectives achievement. So that is also not possible. Yeah. So why I said this, quality does not mean that you sacrifice many other things which are of highest priority, right? So this is what we discussed in the last class. So continuing with the next topic of improvement in quality, okay, there is a very popular word that we can hear among the many people talking about a word called as Kaizen, Kaizden, right? Kaizen. So anybody has come across this particular word can just join this particular talk and just give some one or two sentences on where have you heard about the word called Kaizen, and what does it mean, your own versions of what Kaizen means. Come on, I'll give you 2 minutes or 3 minutes time for different people to just share their opinion. Come on, start. Come on, there are 38 people in this class. At least I should get at least 10 different versions of what Kaizen is. Come on. Manoj, Prithvi, Kanishk, Akshay, Anita, Chitrashri, Harish, Naresh, Kirtiraj, Likitha, Manasa, Mohit and Kamat, Prithviraj, Ganesh, Sai Prithvi, Jarin, Varun Venkatesh. Okay, somebody has started to chat. Okay, so improving in small proportions. Okay, yeah. Venkatesh has said that. Anybody else?
Continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement. Okay, fine. I will take it. Anybody else? Come on. Anything. It could be like nothing, sir. Kotmiri, sir. Something. Say something. I want some answers to happen from the other side. This is not a one-way interaction, for which I could have even recorded and posted it if this was the kind of session it was supposed to be. This is an online class where I am supposed to actually keep all your. Okay, let me do this. All of you on your cameras. Let me see you people. Switch on your cameras. Show me your faces. Okay, I can see two people. What about the rest of them? Switch on your cameras. Okay, switch on, switch on, switch on. That's it. Nobody else. You know ethics is part and parcel of our living being. Okay, then that means that there are many people who have joined this particular meeting and then doing their own household work, I believe, right? Where is Rajshekar? And Rajshekar, where you come online? Show me your face. Nothing. Okay, there you are. Akshay. Okay, good. All right. I usually ask you people to switch off your cameras so that bandwidth can be increased. Okay. So that you will be able to hear your conversations properly. Good. 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 Very good. Okay. Then let me continue. So, but still you are showing your faces, but you are not answering. You're not answering. Karthik, what does Kaizen mean to you? Amit, what does Kaizen mean to you people? Just one word. Just say something. On your mic and say something.
So is it spelled as Kaizen?
Kaizen.
It means to make amendments or small improvisations in anything.
Very good. Very good. See, what happens is, when you hear something for the first time, like you have never seen something in your, in your eyesight. Supposedly, there is a new animal that comes from an alien planet into Earth. Okay. And if somebody asks you to describe it, whatever you say is correct because nobody is correct when whatever they say. It's a new animal that has come, which is you people have never seen, right? So all you do is you will compare. It is looking like an elephant. It is looking like a dog. It is looking like an buffalo or something like that. You're gonna say, but all you say may be wrong because that is not what it is. It is something continuous. See, Kaizen may be something like it is a word that you would have never heard in your lifetime. So anything that you say may be true, may not be true, right? This is a process of learning where you speak up something and then see why I always force you people to talk is because our brain has a way of learning. Okay, when you do mistakes, right, that's when the brain is more active to correct it. Okay, and it tries to correct it, and when it tries to correct it, your remembrance is more on that particular thing. For something like this, okay, you have been I give you examples. Okay, how did you learn driving your bike? Only after you fell you would have actually learned the key points where you can drive well or avoid accidents or anything like that. If you have never had an accident and you have learned, be aware. Okay, there is a very high probability that you mean when the real situation of an accident comes, the way your reactions will be there will not be suitable, right? So that's why ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ತೆ 4 ಸತಿ ಬಿದ್ರೆ ಎದ್ರೇನೆ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, but anyway, so what I was trying to tell is Kaizen is a Chinese word, or it has an origin from Chinese or Japan ways. People have various different interpretations to that. Okay, so what is more important in Kaizen is the word Kaizen means, okay, improvement. Obviously we have been talking about continuous improvement, and obviously there is going to be improvement has to be involved. Okay, I'll also give you an word called as, have you heard of something called as guerrilla warfare? Can somebody give me one, whoever knows what is guerrilla warfare can say something about guerrilla warfare? What does it mean?
Make the enemy believe that there is not much army to fight for, and then surprise attack the other army with many.
Very good, very good. So what Likith is trying to say is that you make believe somebody else or the opponent that your army is huge and then is there. But the actual guerrilla warfare is when you have very few artillery or arsenal or people in your gallantry or cavalry. Okay, guerrilla warfare is an art, okay, where very few people achieve something that very many people will be able to do. Something that 100 people were able to do, 10 people will okay, complete the job. So that is a kind of guerrilla warfare where they will come up with new tricks and new processes or new what to say situations where the enemy has not come across, and they surprise the enemy with so those what to say acts, so that they try to achieve something with very less people. So the objective is that with very less what to say people you try to do something. So that is your guerrilla warfare, right? In the similar lines, Kaizen is for something fun. Let me give you an example so that you remember. Okay, you have to make your what to say house beautiful, or let me say, yeah, okay. So what my intent I wanted to say was, for example, if you want to make your beautiful house beautiful, what you can do is you can go and consult a probably some lifestyle what to say consultant, and then he or she decorator can come and then come up with ideas, and then decorate your house, and you will be spending a lot of money to decorate your house. Finally, you will have your house decorated, right? Your intent was to decorate your house and you got it decorated. But the same could also be done, okay, uh, using rustic products that you already have in your home, probably in a cupboard above, right? So you take something and do some small process to that. There, imagine that you have a small brass based some kind of a container, okay, and that container has been in your shelf for probably the last 20 years. It was your great grandfather's what to say, let us say, container. Then you see that you take it out, then you put a small what is it, take a cloth and then put some oil and brush it and all, bring it up to shine, and then that can be used as a vase, okay, a flower vase, right? And so all you needed was to make the house good, look good, looking good, and you achieved with your own material. But when you call your what to say designer, he will bring everything from outside. So the end of the day, what I'm trying to reach out to a point is improvement should be done. Kaizen means to improve, right? Kaizen means to improve. Improve with very less involvement of money. That is the most important key takeaway point of Kaizen. That means to say, you if there are 100 people in an organization, if you train only 10 people, okay, like your managers, and you train them about how quality can be increased, and then you say that these are the processes, let us say the last what to say set of people who work on the machines. Let us say you have a manufacturing unit, so there is a CEO, and then there are intermediate top level managers, and then there are supervisors, and then there are workers who work on the machines. This is the hierarchy of your organization. Now the top management says that okay, we have to build quality into the organization, and then they take the top management managers and then they train them. And to an extent level, the supervisors are also trained on quality aspects, so that they can manage the low level workers. So what they will do is they know what is the way processes needs to be done, so that they can save and build quality into the process as well as product. So what is going to happen here is they will, since the low level people are the people who work on the machines and get the product fabricated, they will force the what to say lower level people to do certain things. For example, these low level people may be taking a break, okay, taking a staggered break, and then going and coming for 10 minutes, having a cup of coffee, okay. And there is a process what to say that has come up where once a product fabrication is started till it completes it, the personnel has to be next to it to ensure that there is nothing going wrong. But usually employees ignore these things, okay, they are tired, so they go out and then they come back and then redo the process. Maybe because of that there is some amount of defects that are coming in. So the manager what to say says gives a circular to all the employees that nobody should go out till the product is been manufactured, right? Something like this. Now, can you see the difference in the strategies that will come? This will cause a lot of mental trauma to the a low-end employee. All that was a circular. The circular had a good intention that because the employees goes out on the break, the product is getting defected. So they wanted to make the product non-defective. So they are coming up with a circular saying that nobody should go out in the breaks. Now there is a mismatch of alignment of what to say willnesses or objectives. Now the employee is concerned about his efficiency, because if he doesn't take that break, he thinks that he will not be efficient in his work, right? Now the employer thinks that if he takes that break, the product will have a defect which is going to affect his quality. Now conflict of these interests will make the situation worse. So what could be the better way out? What could be the better way? Now the issue here is the employee doesn't know why the circular has come. That is where is the problem, right? So involvement of the employee, training the employee with the processes that can lead to least defects, so that can help the organizations. So Kaizen is in a general way improvement in the various different processes of the organization, involving the members of the organization, spending the least. That is the another key point there. You involve everybody in the organization, but you try to spend the least of the money that you are intended to spend. So that is the most important takeaway point of the word called as Kaizen. Now different countries, obviously everybody wants quality, and then everybody are involved in trying to improve the process, right? So different situations can happen. One of the problems that generally industries have come across is introducing anything is not difficult. Introducing anything is not difficult at all. Sustaining the initiatives or the implementations that has been done is very, very difficult. For example, if I ask you to come on Sundays, one Sunday, if I ask all of you to come, all of you will come to college with enthusiasm, isn't it? Yes or no? One Sunday, if I ask all of you to come to college, will you come or not?
No, sir.
Oh, who's that saying no? I think one Sunday, if I say you can all come in colored dress and then you can all flaunt all your new dresses, you will come. Okay, one Sunday. Okay, yes, that's what human psychology is. You'll have different ideas. So one Sunday, if I ask you to come, come. But if I ask you to come all the Sundays to college, would you come? You may not. You'll resist it, right? All of you will resist it. It may happen. Okay, after the lockdown, all of you be ready for such initiatives from the college, right? Because you have lost almost 2 months of your study time. Interactive classes has been lost. So there could be. I still have question marks that this whole semester could be an online semester, but I'm not sure. If at all everything happens, God clears up the air and the whole COVID crisis is gone, and then if at all we are back to normal, and then if VTU CSS classes has to be completed, 52 hours of contact sessions has to happen, then probably Sundays might also be the engaged days. Okay, let us look into that. Okay.
So, will we have 2 internals or we'll have only 1, sir?
That's a good question. Yeah. So we don't know. I'm also as ignorant as you people are, right? Two internals are required, ma. Okay, at least two will be there, right? Because without two, the evaluation will not be as good as possible. Because secondary thing is you are all in a scheme where 60-40, right? So that means say 40% of your marks is from the internal. So without 3 internals or 2 internals, it will be hard to give you marks. So I don't know. Something will come up. All I'm trying to say here is be ready for a lot of initiatives that will happen. Okay, be prepared. Okay, let's finish off today's topic case, and let's at least complete some decently good things. Okay. So one of the things that of Kaizen is that Kaizen is about improvement. Kaizen is about involving the whole everybody into the involving everybody into the process of improvement, right? And the most important thing is to what to say, without spending much. So that is money involving without spending money involving everybody, which could be both the managers, the low level employees. Okay. And the most important thing is using common sense. Common sense ideas of common sense that will make a lot of changes. For example, uh, how an organization has to have a good health among the employees, correct? Yes or no? Organizations needs to have a good health of the employees so that they will contribute better. So what can an organization do? An organization can have a what to say, hospital in the campus. They can spend money on having a doctor, and then whenever employees get sick, they can go send the employee to the doctor, get him treated and all the stuff. So this could be an initiative taken by the organization. Now, to do this, they have to hire a doctor, they have to spend money on the infrastructure of the hospital, they have to ensure, what to say, these are the things, right? Yeah. Now, what could be Kaizen? What could be? I'm not telling this is Kaizen. Okay. What could be Kaizen is you try to tell all the employees of the organization how important it is to have hygiene, good hygiene. That means if all the employees take bath every day and come, okay, if you train your employees on what to say, where are the key points where what to say, all the bacteria gets accumulated, how processes of breathing can help you take away those bacteria from your body, how brushing can help you, and then you spend a small amount of money on giving them certain kind of material like good soaps of sanitizers and all those stuff. And you also say that how important is the all those things is, I'm telling you, are involving everybody, that keeping your surroundings important is very important. One is personal hygiene, second one is surroundings, right? So if your surroundings is clean, if your what to say, personal hygiene is good, then the probability of you getting sick is very less, very less. Your probability of getting sick is very less. So this said and done, if the organization spends time on training your employees on all these things, and they all of them can all the employees can get together on a one particular day and then clean the environment where they are working on a regular basis, then the amount of time spent on or money spent on the hospital, the doctor, everything can be spared. So all this thing is happening because of common sense. Having cleanliness around us is common sense, right? So that could be a case, a improvement that is happening, right? And Kaizen word also means never ending. Okay, never ending. So anything that you do that produces any kind of significant changes or improvements to the process should be never ending. So that is the most what is a takeaway point of today also. Okay. Uh, One of the more motto of Kaizen is today is better than yesterday, tomorrow is better than today. So that should be the motto, right? So today is better than yesterday, today should be better than yesterday, and tomorrow should be better than today, right? So that should be, so every day there should be some improvement that should be keep happening, right? Now, how organizations or countries have had this Kaizen, now that we know what Kaizen is, okay, usually when it comes to management, we talk about terms called as East and the West. East is all Chinese, Japan and all, okay, and then West is the Western countries such as Europe and America and all those things. So what happens is, there are two things to an organization. One, an organization has a product, let us say. They can go about making a continuous improvement over a period of time to the product and the process, and make that particular company and process a very innovative kind of a what is a very good product or a process. The second version of looking at a company is innovation. Okay, So what is happening here? I'll give you examples of companies, manufacturing companies. Let us take Toyota. Toyota is a Japanese company, okay? And then let us talk about the Mercedes Benz, or let us talk about Ferrari, okay? So Ferrari and Toyota. So when I compare these two companies, okay, what are the key points that you can say about Toyota? Toyota is a very trustable company. Toyota has, why I'm saying trustable company, because it has proven its products, right? There are still the Toyota Qualis cars which came in 1990 still running on the roads, right? But that is not so with the products of Maruti. I don't hardly see Ambassador, I mean, or any other cars, Ambassadors still running on the roads, right? But Toyotas have come, their process, they built the processes such that the products will last, for a long period of time. Their engines are so robust, right? So why I say all those things is, and on a comparative note, let us talk about Ferrari also, right? So Ferrari is a French-based, or Italian-based company, and then they manufacture cars. Okay, they are into racing. They also fabricate cars. So the difference between Ferrari and Toyota is that Ferrari is all about innovation. Ferrari is all about innovation. That means they will come up with fantastic new innovations, and then they try to incorporate that into the car. But Toyota is not about that. Yes, they are also part of the innovation curve, but rather than being completely bringing up new products into the market, what they will do is they'll try to make their existing products more robust, more, more solid. Okay, they'll try to identify where things are small things that are going wrong, and they'll try to put corrective measures. So, in a generic way, if I had to say between the West and the East, okay, so the West had their innovation was very strong. The West had strong innovation, but the Kaizen was weak. That means to say their process of improvement was weak. Okay, on a comparative note. But in the East, in East-based countries like Japan and Chinese, Kaizen was strong. Okay, innovation was less. Okay, so these are the two, different ways in which demographically these organizations used to work. So companies in the East stressed more on Kaizen, and the innovation was weak. Okay, but at the West, innovation was at its peak and Kaizen was strong. So what is the formula for a very successful organization is a trade-off between both of them. That means there had to be a good balance of innovation as well as Kaizen. Only innovation will not make the product survive. Only Kaizen, you cannot widen your market. Okay, so you should have good innovations as well as good Kaizen, right? So I'll also now talk about what will be the different scenarios when you follow Kaizen and when you have innovations. Okay, now let me talk about the effect. What will happen when you follow Kaizen and what will happen when we follow innovation? So what the effect of when you follow Kaizen is, the effect of Kaizen is long term. That means whatever activities that you undertake as part of Kaizen is going to have a long term, but a long lasting, okay, long lasting effect. Okay, but not dramatic. It will not be dramatic. You will not have any drastic changes that will happen. Okay, it will be a slow change that will happen, right? So effect of Kaizen is long term and long lasting, but it will not be undramatic. It will be not dramatic, undramatic it will be. But when it comes to innovation, it will be short term but dramatic. So this is one of the ways you can differentiate between Kaizen and innovation with regard to the effect. Now, with regard to the pace, pace is the fastness with which you come up with things. Kaizen is going to be taking small steps. Kaizen is going to be taking small steps towards improvement. But when it comes to innovation, the pace is going to be big steps. Okay, there'll be major changes. Automotive industry going into electric vehicles is a innovation, right? It's a major step. You're completely leaving out the fossil fuels and stepping into a completely different domain or way of propelling in a vehicle, right? So the pace is going to be completely different. Time frame. Okay, so I'm talking about parameters such as effect, pace, time frame. So when it comes to time frame, Kaizen is going to be continuous and incremental. Kaizen is going to be continuous and incremental, while innovation is going to be non-incremental and intermittent. That means it is innovations sometimes might not happen on a regular basis. Okay, you innovated something and then you are selling something on all those things, and then the next innovation can happen after 5 years or 10 years. Okay, so that is intermittent but not non-incremental. Okay, the next parameter, change. Okay, so when I talk about change, Kaizen is going to have a gradual and constant change, right? But innovation is going to be abrupt and volatile. Abrupt and volatile. For example, of this electric vehicles I'm talking about, right? So change will be gradual in Kaizen, but abrupt in innovation. Okay, involvement. So when it comes to Kaizen, involvement of everybody must be there. Kaizen means involvement is everybody. But the same involvement in innovation need not be from everybody, but it will be a few people who will be like regarded as innovators or champions or something like that, right? So the R&D department will be the innovators, right? Something like that. Okay, so that will be the involvement. Approach, what kind of approach is taken in Kaizen and innovation, we'll just look into. Okay, so in Kaizen the approach is collectivism. That means it will be a group effect. Okay, collective effort is going to be there. Collective and system approach will be there in Kaizen. Okay, but in innovation the approach is individualism. Individual ideas and effects is going to come up with, or to say, innovative ideas, right? Then what kind of mode are we going to have in these two kind of strategies? Okay, for Kaizen it will be maintenance and improvement. So a lot of focus will be for maintenance and improvement, but for innovation it will be scrap and build. If something goes wrong, you scrap and you rebuild the whole model. Okay, the maintenance is not the intention in innovation, right? So this is the mode. Then spark, what kind of initiatives spark will happen in Kaizen? Okay, so conventional, low know-how, and the state of art, it will be the kind of motivation there. Technological breakthroughs, that will be the and new inventions, new theories will be part of the innovations, right? So, and then when it comes to the practical requirements, Kaizen requires very little investment but great effort to maintain it. Kaizen means it will have very little effort, but I mean involvement of money, but effort will be more in Kaizen. Okay, but in innovation there is a large involvement of money, but very little effort is required to maintain it. Okay, so this is the major differences between Kaizen and involvement, or to say innovation. Okay, effort orientation, Kaizen is people oriented, right? Effort, people put the effort in Kaizen, and in innovation technology is the thing that is going to put all the effort, right? Then evaluation criteria, for Kaizen the process and efforts are better results. Okay, process and efforts, for you need to have a good process and efforts for better results. But in innovation, for results for profit, your results are meant for profit. So that is the evaluation criteria. So if you have profit, then you have an innovative, one of the ways of judging your innovation, right? And then what are the advantages of innovation and Kaizen? Works well in a slow growth economy. Kaizen works very well in a slow growth economy. Very important point to be kept in mind. Okay, and innovation is better suited for a fully grown economy, or economy which has a lot of money available in it. Okay, now all said and done. Okay, I have another 5 minutes of time before I wind up. This is an important differentiations between Kaizen and innovation that we have discussed today. So the points discussed were the effect, the pace at which parameters affect pace, time frame, change, involvement, approach, mode, practical requirements, effort orientation, evaluation strategies, criteria, advantages. Very importantly, so if I ask you a question, what kind of an economy we are? Can somebody tell me we are what kind of an economy? General economy can be classified as poor economy or a undergrown economy, and a growing economy and a grown economy. What are we? India. What is India? We are a developing economy. Good. Growing economy. Yeah, I'm getting chat box answers. Good. We are a growing economy. So now, can you tell me which is the best suited, process for us? Is Kaizen is suited for us, or is innovation important for us? I've told you all the differences between each of them, right? What happens when you follow innovation and what happens when you follow Kaizen? Both I have discussed all this while. Now, can you tell me which is the best suited for us? Okay, no answers are coming up. Innovation. Why, Kanishk? Can you tell me? Why innovation is required? By what is the factor that is pushing you towards innovation? We need to diversify our industries. Okay, yeah, we need to diversify our industries. No, based on the information that are given, see, you just can't say that we have to be innovative. If you have only innovation, you can't sustain innovation, because we are still a growing economy. A grown economy, or already a fully grown economy, will have a lot of sedentary money, or money is not at all a problem. They are cash rich in countries. Okay, we are not a cash rich country. We are struggling to make our needs, and most of our financial needs are fulfilled by the investment of money that these already fully grown economies are pumping into our economy, right? We by ourselves are not an economy which has the money to invest into innovation, right? So if we become a completely innovative based kind of an organize or an economy, then we may not have the finances to basically fund all the innovations, right? Not all funding of innovations leads to concrete products that is going to bring back the money, right? You might come up with a product. For example, I can invest money on coming up with a sophisticated shaver. What is the use of it for the economy, right? You're not going to force all the 130 million crore people of India to start buying that, because they will not be able to afford it. And if at all, if your innovation is there, you have to sell it to a fully grown economy, right? So that is not the way through, right? So if your answer is only innovation, then you're wrong. We cannot sustain on innovation. And if your answer is only Kaizen, then also we are wrong, because we are not kind of a country which can sustain only on existing products. So it has to be a combination of both innovation and Kaizen. That is where I was trying to talk about. Some of the differences in terms of other words that I can differentiate between innovation and Kaizen is: innovation requires creativity, but Kaizen requires adaptability, right? So differences: innovation requires creativity, Kaizen requires adaptability. Innovation is about individualism, but Kaizen is about teamwork, right? Innovation is about specialized orientation, but Kaizen is about generalist orientation. Innovation is about attention to great leaps. That is what we are talking about. And in Kaizen, we are talking about attention to details, right? In innovation, will be technology oriented. Kaizen will be people oriented. Innovation, we are talking about information closed and proprietary, right? But in Kaizen, the information will be open and shared. Okay. In innovation, there will be functional orientation, but in Kaizen, there will be cross-functional orientation. In innovation, we will seek new technology, but in Kaizen, we will try to build on existing technology. In innovation, it will be the important concept is line plus staff, but in Kaizen, it will be cross-functional organizations, people's involved. Okay, and innovation will all be about limited feedback. In innovation, you don't need much of feedback, but in Kaizen, you'll need comprehensive feedback. So these are some of the very important differentials between innovation and Kaizen. And then in probably the next class, we'll talk a little more about the various different tools that are used for Kaizen, evaluation of Kaizen. Okay. So we are almost at when I have 3 minutes of time. Okay. So probably tomorrow, I think on Thursday when we meet, I will probability is that there could be a quiz If at all there is a quiz, I will let you know on the Google Classroom. Okay. All right. So I hope all of you are safe and healthy, and yeah, keep good hygiene and maintain social distancing. Let's meet in the next class. All right. Bye bye.
Assumption of growth here. आम्ही